Hola guys and girls and welcome for my team builder for GBA week 7 of the 9th seasons. We are up against the Montreal Habsols, coached by none other than AsterJ, who is on a roll so far. Since he made his transaction changing up his Uber, he is tearing up the league. And I'm already sorry that we will have to put a damper on that, since we got our first loss last week and we can't be sitting on that. We need to get back on track, and we start by that by winning versus our boy Aster. This is actually in the GBA, I think, the first time that we battled each other. We did battle before a few times, at least. I remember at least one time. It's because I won, most likely. We might have battled another time where he won, but I just don't remember. But that was in a TTM tournament a while ago, in like the semi-finals. And yeah, there I played very aggressively. That's why I mostly got the win. So and he made a actually he mis-EV'd his speed as well. So yeah, let's hope we can have that again. Not the mis-EVing part, but of course the winning part. But for that, of course, we have to get around his team, which I will go over real quick. He got the Mega Mawile, the Lunala, the Tornadus T, the Rotom Wash, Nidoqueen, Tyranitar, Reuniclus, Cobalion, Salamence, Licky, and the Stoutland. His two most Z-move users are the Tornadus and the Cobalion. So, biggest threats from his side, without a doubt, Mega Mawile we have at first. It was a very controversial pick in the actual draft, drafting that first, and like he had the third pick overall, so a lot of other things were on the draft board when he drafted that, but he put it to great use so far, and yeah, all the doubters, they went silent since they saw how Aster can perform with Mega Mawile. And yeah, on that, of course, he got the little Sandgrove, Tyranitar, and Stoutland. We got the Reuniclus, which I hate to face, and the problem is he brought like the set everyone hates to face the most very often, which is like the Acid Armor Core Mine variant, which nobody likes facing that variant of Reuniclus. Sadly, he likes that set, so it might actually come versus me. Then he got the Nidoqueen, which is one of my favorite monsters in draft. He got the Tornadus T, which is like way too quick. It can way too much, but it has to hit its Hurricanes to be really successful. And yeah, of course, his two Ubers, his second Uber best at the Lunala. And she switched up from Necrozma Dawn Wings. So yeah, he shrugged off the Necrozma armor and is a free bat again. And yeah, he's using Lunala, which is, I think the main reason he wanted to make this trade is because it has more coverage and stuff like that. And of course Shadow Shield, which is basically multi-scale, so if it's at full health, you are not killing it. Of course it has a nasty 4x weakness to Ghost and Dark, due to its Ghost Psychic typing. But yeah, he has a lot of coverage. With Shadow Shield it's pretty bulky. And then he got stuff like just on the side note, he got like stuff like Cobalion Salamence, which very big setup threats, and one of them actually being a Z-move user. So yeah, overall, there is like, it's a weird team, I would say. There's not like a straight where I can pick like, look at this mon, this is a huge threat to my team. I mean, it's Mega Mawile, but other than that, he's like, yeah, there are like a lot of kind of threatening mons and a lot of kind of bulky, annoying mons, but there's not like the, oh god, I have to prepare for that, and it's not as bad, I can deal with that. There's like a lot of middle tier annoying mons versus me, which is very annoying because that means everything can come to this match. I can see every one of these 11 mons do make sense versus me. There's like no mon I can look at and like, no, that's not coming. So yeah, that's annoying. I have to prep for basically more than what I usually do. And yeah, so that's I guess the strength of this team. But either way, that's his team. We talked enough about that. Let's look over my team now. So first up, we start with Tangrowth, our Spätzle, physically defensive, of course, with Gatorade, Hidden Power, Ice, Earthquake, and Sleep Powder. Minus speed, since he has nothing which, like, he has some mons which are slower than me, but I doubt he will speed group them for minus speed Tangrowth, and then he mons he has faster than me, and they will always be faster than me, barring I invest a lot of speed. So minus speed is not a problem, but this is, of course, my first switch into Mega Mawile. It's not a great switch, sadly, since Play Rough with Rocks up could 2-hit KO me, if he's Max Attack Element, that is. And yeah, I can't OHKO him. Like, Earthquake does, if I'm Intimidate, even less, but if I'm not Intimidate, does like 40%, depending on the investment he has. So the best way, actually, I have to deal defensively with Mega Mawile is switching that guy in and then hitting a Sleep Powder and then hopefully having him asleep for a lot of turns. So Mega Mawile is just a huge problem versus my team. And then I just got 28 in Speed because I got them lit over and 4 on Special Attack. And then coverage-wise, Giga Drain, of course, main. Special move, then I was a lot debating, do I put Hidden Power Fire or Hidden Power Ice? Hidden Power Ice, of course. Hidden Power Fire would be better for the for the Mawile, and I wouldn't need Earthquake, which I don't really want to have, since this is a great switch into Rotom as well. So this thing is prone to get burned, and then Earthquake does even less to the Mawile. But if I have Hidden Power Fire and I'm just set up for Salamence, for example, and that's why I decided to have HP Ice, just to have something to hit it at least, and not be just sitting there and always having to switch out and all this good stuff. So that's why I have HP Ice and Earthquake, which is kind of like the middle ground on hitting the Mawile and the Salamence. And then Sleep Powder, because that's like the best way I have to deal with Mawile, at least with the Tangrowth. So yeah, that's Tangrowth for you. Like I said, physical defensive is of course nice for our physical threats as well, like the Stoutland. Not really that. Salamence as well, since it's not a Z-move user. So if it's physical, I can deal with Salamence as well. Cobalion, kind of, like +2 Z-move, does hurt. And yeah, and Mega Mawile mainly, but like I said, it's way too strong and I can't really safely deal with it defensively, but Tangrowth he's trying, he's trying his best. Then we got Pow, the Mandibles, our special defensive mon of this week, which has knockoff, Whirlwind, Defog, and Roost. The speed is just here to creep the creep, you know, the triple creep on my part, because this would be no speed. So this is what he runs to outspeed me. So this is what I run to outspeed him, but he knows that. So he runs this speed, and I know that, so I run this speed to outspeed even that. So yeah, that's the triple creep special. Just 20 ADVs, which I don't need anywhere else, and just make sure that like him speed creeping with his slower mons, like his let me look at them, like his Nidoqueen for example, if it's defensive variant. It just makes sure that I could be still faster than him. And yeah, then Overcoat because of Sand from Tyranitar. And this is mainly there to, it's my great switch into my special attackers, mainly Lunala. There's enough investment so I can take not to get KO'd by Modest, Ice Beam, or Thunderbolt, or Moonblast. Here's a lot of options which are super effective as Mandibles. But Modest variants of those don't shoot KO me. Of course, if he's Expert Belt or Life Orb, that's a different story. But he likes to bring Scarf Lunala, and Scarf Lunala is actually a problem for my team. I could see him bringing that to check my Deoxys, since it's a Ghost type, so it's immune to extreme speed. And if Scarf is faster and moves him across me. So yeah, that's why I could see Scarf Lunala. And in which case, taking the Modest hits is all I need. And then I got Knockoff as my main stab option. Just getting rid of items and all this good stuff. Then Whirlwind to Whirlwind stuff out. Mainly stuff like the Reuniclus and the Salamence, which could be problematic. And yeah, in general just Whirlwinding mons around. And then Defog and Roost. Has removal, recovery. Pretty standard. Like these two moves, I think I had every week on my Mandibles, and then these are like flavor of the week, what I bring. This time it's Knockoff and Whirlwind. Then next up, we got our Deoxys attack with Psycho Boost, Stomping Tantrum, Knockoff, and Substitute. Enough speed for max speed Tornadus, so we outspeed that. This time actually no extreme speed. I'm bringing no, no priority. That's because I want all this coverage right here. So Psycho Boost, first of all, main stab option, that even with not plus attack nation 92 special attack, it hits like a truck. And then we got Stomping Tantrum and Knockoff, because his main psychic resists are the Reuniclus, which I hit Knockoff, the Tyranitar, which theoretically I hit better with Super Power and Low Kick, but I talk about it later, and the Mega Maul, which I hit with Stomping Tantrum as well. So first up, why do I Stomping Tantrum over Fighting Move or Tyranitar? So, it hits the Mawile as well, which is nice. And I'm expecting him, if Tyranitar comes to check my Deoxys, it's 100% gonna be Chocolate Berry. And if I go Psycho Boost, he's immune to that. And I can Stomping Tantrum him with a double power Stomping Tantrum, because if you don't know, if the power doubles, if the last move failed, and if he switches into Tyranitar on my Psycho Boost, this fails because he's immune, and then Stomping Tantrum is double the power, then it's 150 base power, times 2 is 300 base power, it goes super effective, and it demolishes it, especially if he expects being Shovel Berry and all this good stuff. And yeah, then Knockoff, like I said, for Reuniclus and all this good stuff, in general getting rid of items. And Substitute is there because he has a good amount of Sucker Punch users, which could be annoying for Deoxys, like the Mawile, like the Nidoqueen. And if I can get a Substitute up versus them on a turn he Sucker Punches, I can just kill them with Psycho Boost, or kill them with Stomping Tantrum, or just do a lot of damage with Stomping Tantrum. Especially, like, this might happen actually with the Mawile. I go for Substitute, he goes for Sucker Punch. He goes for Sucker Punch again. I go for Substitute, but on his second Sucker Punch, my move fails because I have a Sucker Punch, a Substitute already up, and then Stomping Tantrum again is double power versus the Mawile. So that's the scenario, which I'm looking forward if it might happen. But either way, that's the opposite. Like Substitute to dodge the Sucker Punches, sadly no extreme at this time, and then great coverage for his team to do a lot of damage. Then we got Mila, the Expert Belt, Jirachi, enough speed to outspeed Lunala, and I have Iron Head, Fire Punch, U-Turn, and Starfrog. Starfrog of the team. And then I decided to have Expert Belt, Fire Punch mainly. That's the real thing which gets boosted by Expert Belt to get more damage on the Mawile. Like you see my team here, I don't have a Fairy Resist on this team. The only Fairy Resist I have is Jirachi. And so it might happen that at some point they have to match up Jirachi versus Mawile. And if he's not a +2, I can take the Sucker Punch, and then I won't actually be able to hurt him with the Fire Punch in this scenario. Fire Punch, of course, hits stuff like the Cobalion as well, which is a Steel Resist. And I don't hit, sadly, is the Rotom. I was thinking, do I put an Energy Ball on this for the Rotom, because I can bait it in with Iron and Fire Punch. But in the end, if I would have Energy Ball, I don't have U-turn, so I can't get momentum. I couldn't get rocks, because then I wouldn't have rocks, because Mr. Man won't have rocks later. So in the end, I decided this. The attack, by the way, is enough so that Exabel, the boosted Fire Punch, does 2 KO more if he's no bulk. If he's max HP, like no investment in attack will be able to OHKO it, barring I would be banded. So I thought it's more worth it to be a little bit more bulky, and then still have the attack potentially do it. And of course, what I hope, of course, Serene Grace Fire Punch, 20% chance to burn. Maybe that's on something. And of course, we can flinch with Iron Head, which is always nice. And yeah, like I said, more fast, not so strong utility Jirachi, which is most of the times the Jirachi I'm bringing so far. But yeah, next up we got our sweeper of this week, which is our Landorus, Double Dance Landorus with Rock Polish and Sword Stance Max Speed, so I can outspeed the Salamence, and then we have Soft Sand to boost our Earthquake, because sadly Earthquake is physical and doesn't have a secondary effect, so it's not boosted by Sheer Force, so we can accommodate that with the Soft Sand. The Rock Slide, of course, is Sheer Force boosted. And I'm Double Dance. I'm not expecting to get both of these up. I just want to have the utility, depending on what team he has, what currently is on the squad. If I need the sheer power of Sword Stance to like break through Uniclus, or break through Licky or something like that, or kill the Tyranitar on the spot, which, I mean, Soft Sand boost Earthquake already does pretty well. Or do I want this thing for sweeping late game? Like, everything is weakened, then I can just click Rock Polish and then go to town with like Edgequake coverage, which he doesn't hit, doesn't have the best switches to. The best thing he has, like, is the Rotom Wash, for example. But if I can weaken that, these are in range of Rock Slide as well, especially if I get to Sword Stance and I speed the Rotom, all this good stuff. So yeah, I was debating as well, do I want to Sheer Force or do I actually want to be Sand Force to get both of these attacks boosted if he has a Sand of Tyranitar up? But in the end, that's way too situational. I'd rather have the consistent boost of Rock Slide, especially since the best move I have to hit the Rotom. And yeah, so I do most damage to that. So in the end, it had to be Sheer Force. And that's Landorus for you. Like I said, a bit more utility with having both of them. I don't really need more coverage versus him. Like Earthquake and Rock Slide, everything will love damage. Mega Mobile, Earthquake, Tornadus, Rock Slide, Nidoqueen, Earthquake, Tyranitar, Earthquake, Cobalion, Earthquake, Salamence, Rock Slide. And then all the other things are just hit by Earthquake, which is soft and boosted as well. Neutrally, but not super effectively. So yeah, that's Landorus for you. And last but not least, we got our ICMZ Kyurem Black. Enough speed to outspeed max speed Rotom Heat. And we got Freeze Shock with the ICMZ. Actually the first time bringing the Freeze Shock on Kyurem Black with Ice Beam and Earth Power. Because Ice and Ground coverage is so nice versus team. If you look at his whole team, he doesn't like taking Ice together with Ground moves at all. And the ICMZ Freeze Shock might be very pivotal in the game. I have to really think about when I pull the trigger. I can't just mindlessly click this button first time Kyurem is in, because this might be the best nuke I have, for example, versus a bulky Uniclus which is trying to set up. In which case I would need to see Freeze Shock, for example. So if he has a Uniclus, I don't just want to mindlessly click this button. At least I want to try. And yeah, then I have the substitute as well to force a switch and get a substitute up. I can potentially get a Freeze Shock off without the ICMZ. Like, I already used my ICMZ, and then I can get a Freeze Shock off, charge one turn behind the sub, and then get the Freeze Shock off after, and actually have a 30% chance to Paralyze, which I didn't do since after I clicked this move, because I already saw this move so far with the ICMZ. But yeah, I have ICMZ Freeze Shock, even though I'm max special attack invested, since I can see attack is actually still higher than special attack. And yeah, that's Kyurem Black for you. Like I said, Wall Breaker and nice coverage with the substitute, and that's the whole team. Basically, Breaker, Utility, Sweeping, Bulk, boom. That's my team for this week of the GBA versus Aster. Let me, of course, know in the comments what you think about the team. Who's going to perform? Who's going to underperform? Who's doing well? Will I win? If yes, how much? And if I lose, what are you doing on my channel? So, yeah, that's all for this video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Hit me out on Facebook. All links in the description. And I will see you another time. Ciao.